What's going on, YouTube? It's the Game Zombie here with a Mortal Kombat X reveal. Now, a lot of people all over the internet have kind of just been talking about the same stuff about Mortal Kombat X. A lot of it is just regurgitated, whether it be, YouTubers all following the same thing, or, forums or articles. It's all pretty much the same stuff. So I wanted to cover something that hasn't really been talked about anywhere else. It took a lot of time and research to find all this stuff, but I wanted to talk about the levels, the stages. Now, all the stages in Mortal Kombat X have been revealed already, kind of under the radar or under our noses. A lot of people probably haven't caught on to it yet or noticed, because things happen so fast in all the trailers. But I spent hours going through all the footage and I wanted to break them all down for you guys. So let's get right into it. Now, first we'll go over the stages that already have been announced. These are the ones that we can see from the level or stage select screen. So the first one I wanted to talk about is Crossroads. Now, Crossroads looks like the Mortal Kombat X version of MK9's Netherrealm stage. It's pretty much hell, but that's the first one. Now, the second one is the Outworld Marketplace, and that was one of the first stages that we were shown in the early announcement of Mortal Kombat X. Another stage that we've seen a lot of is the Cove, and I'm sure we are all familiar with that one. The next stage is Deadwoods, and that was the original stage that we first saw in the announcement trailer or the reveal trailer for MKX. Now, this next stage I really like. I just like the colors and the atmosphere of it. It's kind of unfortunate that we haven't seen more of it in the streams. Hopefully we will see some more footage of this stage in the upcoming weeks. But this stage is the refugee camp, and I really like everything that's going on. I really like the portal and how, people are interacting and coming in and out of it. Seems really interesting. Now, the next stage is the Coup Tan Jungle. And this is another stage that I wish we saw a little more of. It seems like in the streams they've kind of been picking one or two stages over and over again, and I hope they kind of switch that up in the future. Now, the last stage that has been officially announced already in the stage select screen is the Destroyed City, and this seems to be their favorite stage to pick, especially during their streams. They pick this stage more than any other stage for some reason, and this stage to me kind of seems like one of the more plain stages. I'm not too hyped about this stage, but to each their own. So now let's get into the main event. All the stages that are not officially revealed. Now, if the number or the silhouettes on the stage select screen are correct, these are all of them, you guys. There's only one stage that hasn't officially been shown on stream with gameplay, and I have some ideas on what it is, but I didn't want to say what it was because I don't have evidence, and I want to just stick to the facts here. So the first stage I wanted to talk about is what I like to call Kotal Khan's Fortress. And just so you guys know, these aren't official names. These are names that I'm just giving to these stages because, like I said, they haven't officially been revealed. So don't get mad when they're officially revealed they have different names. This stage looks really cool though. Looks really interesting. You can see in the background a giant statue of Kotal Khan being built and some crazy animals in the background. And the stage looks cool, you guys. I want to see more of it, definitely. Now, the other stage I want to talk about, I call the Elder God Tomb. And this stage looks really dark. A lot of muted colors, kind of like a dingy atmosphere to it. It really reminds me of the Soul Chamber from the previous Mortal Kombat games. There's been a couple variations. Now, before I get into this next stage, I do want to talk about some of the stage's relevance. Now, since there is this new faction system, I believe every faction is going to have a stage. And there are 5 factions. And with those stages, instead of stage fatalities, we're going to have faction kills. Now, this is just a theory, so don't get upset if I'm wrong, but that's kind of the way it looks. We've already seen this faction kill from a previous trailer of Kano getting his face burned off by a drone. More than likely, that would make sense, but who knows? You know, maybe we'll have stage fatalities and faction kills. Maybe something completely different. I really do think that every faction is going to have their own stage. If you watch the faction video, is one of the faction's backgrounds, and it's for the Brotherhood of Shadows, so I'm calling it the Brotherhood of Shadows lair. But this map looks really interesting. There's actually a decent amount of footage on this one, so we can kind of see the entire stage. The next stage I wanted to talk about is one we've actually seen quite a lot of lately, and this one I'm calling the Lin Kuei Hideout because when they were talking to Sub-Zero, the Special Forces team, Cassie Cage and all them were talking to Sub-Zero, this was the background. So more than likely this is the Lin Kuei faction stage like I was talking about earlier. And last but not least, this stage we've barely seen any of. We've only seen very quick little glimpses of this stage. And you guys could blink and you would miss it. But if you, again, look at the faction video and the description of the different factions, this background was in the White Lotus faction background. So I'm naming it the White Lotus Temple. You know, we've only seen the very corner of this stage, but you can see some monks in the corner kind of kneeling down and praying. You know, who knows what's on the other sides, but it looks really interesting. So that's about it. There's one stage left. I believe that the Red Dragon Clan has a stage that hasn't been shown yet, and that's just my opinion. It's a theory that I have. I don't have anything like as far as footage to base that on, but with the trend of the faction stages, I believe that that is, you know, definitely a very likely possibility. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I put a lot of time putting it together, doing all the research, spent hours of watching footage and trying to connect the dots on everything. And I really do all of this for you guys. You know, the fighting game community is such a niche, tight-knit community, and it's so small. I'm really looking forward to Mortal Kombat X on a lot of different levels, but one of those levels is to bring people together through gaming and esports and kind of pass down MK to another generation and keep that legacy going. I'm thinking about doing another video just like this for all the characters. That's right, every character in MKX that I have found that has been released under our noses, and I'm not talking about cameos or could be in it, but characters that have been confirmed one way or another, or leaked, or whatever you want to call it. But it just really all depends on how good this video does. Like I said, it takes a lot of work and I do it all for you guys, but I'm really looking to increase my viewer base. So if you guys could share this video with as many people that are interested in MK as possible, and like, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, that'd be amazing. I'm really trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, but I'm not going to make that my mark to put out a character video. I just want to see how it goes. So, you know, if I get a good enough reception, I will definitely be making that video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to hit that like button. And as always,